Hi guys! Our Children's Museum, the Children's Museum of Indianapolis, is the world's largest children's museum, and they're bringing a brand new PAW Patrol exhibit that opens later this week. We're counting down the days and building the anticipation by creating a PAW Patrol themed school lunch every day between now and the opening. Today, I'm going to teach you to make some healthy zucchini carrot muffins, and we're going to top them with these cute little bone decorations. So we're making Doggie Biscuits. Let's get started. Super easy and a great way to sneak some special vegetables in for your little ones, even if they don't really care for vegetables. Right now, I'm mixing 1 cup of flour, and we're going to put the recipe in the comments below for you. And then we're gonna do half a teaspoon of cinnamon. See where my teaspoons are. And I'm okay with doing a little extra of the cinnamon. Cinnamon has such good flavor and my kids really, really love it. We're gonna do 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm using kosher salt, but feel free to use whatever salt you have on hand. And next, we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Go. And we're going to take our whisk and just kind of mix it all together so it's pretty well combined. And we're going to set this aside. Next, we've preheated our oven to 350 and we have greased our mini muffin pan. Next, we're going to add some of our more liquid ingredients. So the first one we're going to add are 3 teaspoons of melted butter. It needs to be melted, but also needs to be cool, so you don't want it to be too hot. All right. Next up, we're gonna do 1/2 cup of maple syrup. So I hate working with sticky stuff. You can also use honey for this, but again, I just feel like I'll never get it off the spoon. So I chose syrup specifically for that reason, even though I feel like I have a ton of honey, and syrup is kind of expensive. So, but you want to use the real stuff, none of that cheap sugar stuff. You want the real stuff. All right, next we're gonna crack an egg in there. I am not the best egg cracker, but I did okay there. And finally, we want our vanilla extract. That's probably a lot of vanilla, but that's okay. All right, so next, we are going to mix it together. Next, we're gonna mix it together or stir it together, so we can just use a spoon for that. Really easy. And now you're basically making muffins from scratch. And they're delicious, and you're gonna sneak a couple vegetables in there. All right, and now we are going to add the flour to the wet ingredients here. And we're gonna mix them just until they're just barely combined, is what the recipe says. Again, we'll link this recipe in the video information for you. I'm gonna mix it together. I am not a baker, so those of you who are bakers and you're watching, please don't mock my stirring. I'm just a normal mom who likes to do a few little things here and there. That's excellent, not bad. I figured the KitchenAid would be a little overkill on this one. All right, next up, we are going to add our carrots, our zucchinis, and our raisins. I put these through the food processor to chop them up. It's actually my first time using the food processor. I had to get my husband to help me because we don't have the instructions anymore. and he's the only one that knows how to use it. So you want to mix them in there until they're just distributed as that. And just for some extra sweetness, we're going to add raisins. I don't know if your kids like raisins. Most of mine do, and I think that in the muffins, they won't care. Another thing you could do is add chocolate if you are so inclined. That would be delicious, zucchini chocolate. Oh, so good. But we're gonna go with raisins today, and we're doing about half a cup. I think I'm just gonna do a handful. All right, they're mixed in. And now we're gonna fill our muffin tin about 3/4 of the way full. The recipe says to use a cookie scoop. I don't have a cookie scoop. If you would rather use paper liners, you should do that. If I had some cute PAW Patrol paper liners, I would. But I have a hard time finding themed paper liners in the mini muffin size. I don't know. I'm very interested what a cookie scoop is. I'm gonna have to Google that because I do not have a cookie scoop. I'm guessing it's sort of like an ice cream scoop, and it would just be able to kind of like scoop it right out into the pan, which would be really exciting. I love little kitchen tools. I just don't have anywhere to store them. And for that reason, kitchen gadgets drive me crazy because there's just so many of them. I prefer the multi-use ones where, you know, they do like 3 or 4 things, you know? Oh, like a muffin tin. That can make cupcakes or muffins. Just one example. A friend of mine made some pancakes recently in a mold. So they were like thick and they had a shape to them. And I meant to email her and ask her about it. But then instead, I just bought one online to try it out sometime. So we'll see how that goes in a future episode. If you are interested in cooking shows, my friend Katie has a Twitch live stream that she does every week, seems like every night. I actually don't know. I've watched a couple times, probably about once a week I catch it. But I always look at the pictures of what she's made. She is doing an amazing job. Her name on Twitch is Mrs. Ruby. I will link to her when I'm done. I am not a cook. I wouldn't even say I'm a home cook. I just cook for my kids and my husband and the occasional guest. But no, I'm not. That's not what I do. But I'm obsessed with people who can do that stuff. All right, we're gonna stop there. Maybe we'll make another one. And here are our mini carrot zucchini muffins. We're gonna pop them in and give them a little cook. We'll probably keep them in there for 15 to 20 minutes and we'll check them then. Okay, now that our amazing puppy treats or puppy biscuits are done, we're gonna go ahead and take them. They've cooled a little bit, and we're gonna stick these fun little bone candies in them. I got these at Halloween on clearance, but you should be able to find these online if you can't find them at your local craft store. I also think we need to try these little muffins to make sure that they're good. So I've pulled one aside that didn't come out of the muffin tin so easily so we could try it. That's really good, guys. My kids are gonna love these. They're just sweet enough, and I think the sweetness comes from obviously the maple syrup. I taste the raisins and the zucchini and the carrots. That's really good. You guys are gonna have to try this recipe at home. Excellent. So, good enough for lunch. What we're gonna do is pop these in our little Rubbermaid take-along trays where we've prepared little labels for them. And I'm gonna put these guys in a mini muffin thing after the fact. This one has a little bulldozer on it. So we'll put it, actually we're gonna put it on this side. And then this one has a fire truck, which I think goes really well with the rescue theme. Put that there. And do the same in Big Sisters. So I'm gonna give them 2. I don't know if they need to, but if you think about it, when you buy like little mini muffins, it usually comes with several in it. These are very nice. All right, we've got those in there. Our fruit for today is gonna be the Mayor Goodway grapes. My daughter and I came up with that together. We thought it sounded great, playing on words. Mayor Goodway grapes. And my kids like it when I just pull them off for them. I like that too. So that sounds good to me. And then they don't really have a bunch of waste that may or may not sit around in their backpack for a couple days before it gets home. Sometimes they leave their lunch bags at school. It can just be a pain. So we'll take these off of the stems here and put these in here. Today for our entree, we have a very special treat. I found these PAW Patrol chicken nuggets at Walmart, and I cooked them up in the oven, and we're gonna send them to school with the kids today. My kids like them to be warm, and since they have lunch around 10:30 and 11, I wanna make sure that I can keep them as warm as possible. So we're using our little thermoses. I love these. They're hand wash only. That is the one downside, but I'll put a link in the comments below for you to check them out. A lot of times what you should do is fill them with boiling water and let it sit for a while and then dump it out so that the thermos is actually already heated for you. And so today we're just gonna go ahead and put 5 little nuggets in here. These come in 4 different shapes. We have a paw, we have a bone, and then we have sky, and there was one more, oh, and chase. So we have sky and chase in here as well. So we'll try to make sure that we get one of each at least, of each shape. And then we just put the little lid on here. And we'll put these in their lunch sack together. And everybody has their lunch. I think it'll be a nice little treat. And we'll have to see if they notice the shapes, because I did. And we're gonna go ahead and put a side of ranch in each one of them. These are leftover from the last time that we had chicken nuggets for fast food. And if you watched our other videos, you know that I purchased a case of these on Amazon. They're watermelon flavored Capri Sun, PAW Patrol. So we're gonna add those to their lunch. And I think we have a very nice, quick and easy lunch today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure that you like and subscribe. And if you're watching on Facebook, please make sure you turn on your notifications so that you can be alerted every time we put out a new video. A question I have for all of you today that I would love to have you answer in the comments are, do you purchase lunch supplies online or in the grocery store? Or is there somewhere else that you buy them? But would you ever order lunch supplies like Capri Suns or other food and snack items from Amazon? Leave your comments below, and don't forget, like and subscribe and turn those notifications on. We'll see you at the next video. Hey everyone, it's Katie, and I'm here today to show you how to make some PAW Patrol lunches for your kids to take to school. Our local children's museum, the largest children's museum in the world, is opening up a brand new PAW Patrol exhibit, and we're counting down the days by making special lunches every day leading up to the exhibit. Living in Indianapolis, we are just a few minutes away from the world's largest children's museum, the Children's Museum of Indianapolis. And our museum has put together an amazing PAW Patrol exhibit. Well, at least we think it's going to be amazing. And my kids cannot wait. Even my older ones, 6 years old and 8 years old, can't wait to check out the PAW Patrol exhibit. But we all know that my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old are like on pins and needles. So if you're looking for a perfect PAW Patrol lunch to pack your kids for school, I've got some ideas for you. We're counting down by making one PAW Patrol lunch every day until the exhibit opens. Today, we're packing sort of like their own little Lunchables where they can build their own meal. I've put some vegetables into these trays from Rubbermaid that I purchased at Target, and I've kind of picked the vegetables based on the ones that I know each child will eat. We're making school lunches for my 6 and 8-year-old, and then my younger ones will eat here at home. So we started with vegetables, which we're calling Farmer Yumi's Veggies, all right? Farmer Yumi is a character on PAW Patrol. I made these little labels for the kids by looking on the PAW Patrol website to grab these. I cannot give you a link because they are officially licensed, so just make things for yourself, or you can look and see if you find anything in the party store. The next thing I've done is I've taken our cookie cutters and I've cut out bone shapes, all right? Just like circles found in the Lunchables, but I've made bone shapes. Then I took the other larger cookie cutter and cut out cheese, and this is the deli cheese that I found, which is great. The pepperoni also comes from our deli. I find that the slices are much bigger and easier to work with. And we're also gonna try to cut up some turkey because I have one kiddo just loves turkey. I purchased this at the deli, but you can purchase it pre-sliced as well. Just make sure that it's thick enough to kind of hold the shape and not fall apart. I prefer the shredded, but it won't really work with this recipe. I found that the cheese and the turkey have been very easy to cut using a basic plastic cookie cutter, but the pepperoni was quite a bit harder, even using the sharp metal cookie cutter. I was not able to make this larger cookie cutter fit on the pepperoni, even though they are pretty large slices, and that would have been ideal. So we went with the smaller, tinier little bones. All right, we have our little turkey slices ready, and we're gonna put those into our little Lunchable trays here. And then I put 3 slices of cheese. I'm debating, I think I might want to keep them separated from the turkey. I don't want the cheese to get very soggy. And then we'll put 6 little slices of pepperoni in here. I'm using the Club brand crackers because I think that they fit really well with the size of the cheese cutouts that I have made for the kids. So I'll put those in here, and you can find a better way to organize them, and it'll look great. But since we have these containers, this is going to be the best way. Another option would be to put the crackers into little like cupcake dividers so that they stay away from the meats and don't get soggy. That's entirely up to you and what you have in your kitchen. I'm using these cute little ones that are paper with a little tiny bit of a plastic coating, and I picked them up at Daiso, which is the Japanese dollar store that's in California the last time I was there. All right, then we have our Farmer Yumi's Veggies. We'll put in a little tiny bit of ranch here, and a special little treat. I found these PAW Patrol fruit snacks at Kroger. There's 22 pouches, they're gluten-free, and my kids love fruit snacks. I mean, who doesn't? And they have the pups on them. So we're going to put those in here right on top of our little veggies. And we'll close these up. They're labeled. The kids are gonna love their themed lunches today. Oops. So that's all for our pepperoni and cheese crackers and Farmer Yumi's Veggies. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know if you want to see more of these types of videos. I'd also like to know if your kids are PAW Patrol fans. And if you're watching on Facebook, don't forget to turn on your notifications so that you know when we post our next PAW Patrol video. Have a great day.